The complex has over 2,000 units and houses 10,000 people. Entire families live in tiny flats, and demolition or reconstruction is out of the question. Because of the building's complex structure, even basic repairs like fixing communication cables are extremely difficult. The Tokyo subway transports 8.7 million people every day. Naturally, this level of congestion is very noticeable inside the train cars. In some places, people would simply wait for the next train, but punctual Japanese passengers get on no matter what. That's why there are special employees here called a shiya. Their job is to push passengers inside so the doors can close on time and the train can depart without delay. Even Tokyo's subway doesn't compare to the trains in Bangladesh. The country's rail system is so overcrowded that people use every inch of space, hanging from edges, clinging to windows, and even sitting on the roof. Lahore, Pakistan is officially recognized as the dirtiest city on the planet. Residents breathe toxic air with a pollution index of 348, which is 3 times above the maximum allowable levels. The main culprits are unregulated industrial activity and the widespread use of outdated vehicles. The Dandara landfill near Nairobi, Kenya, has triggered a humanitarian crisis. This building in Kudrava, Russia, is an urban nightmare. It's a massive structure with 35 entrances and 3,708 apartments. Inside the neighborhood, there are over 4,000 cars, and clearly not enough room for them. Almost all available space is taken up by parking, leaving only a few playgrounds. Sunlight only reaches the area for a short time each day, giving it a gloomy feel. It originally had a fenced perimeter, but keeping the gates closed turned out to be pointless because every 10 seconds, someone is driving in or out anyway. The vertical forest in Milan is a residential complex made up of 2 towers, 110 and 76 meters high. As you might guess, they're covered in greenery, 900 trees, 5,000 shrubs, and 11,000 herbaceous plants. The total planted area spans 4 hectares. Thanks to this green cover, the complex improves the city's ecology, purifies the air, regulates temperature, and boosts the area's biodiversity. The State Tower is a unique skyscraper in Bangkok, standing 247 meters tall. It includes apartments, offices, shops, stores, and even 2 5-star hotels. Opened in 1977, it was officially declared unfit for waste disposal in 2001. But Dandara is still operating, receiving thousands of tons of garbage every day. Naturally, this impacts nearby residents who are forced to breathe clouds of smoke and toxic fumes. The waste also pollutes the soil and groundwater. The lead concentration is 10 times the legal limit. Hanoi is the capital of never-ending traffic jams. The gridlock is relentless. The average traffic speed sometimes drops to just 10 kilometers per hour, and crossing the city can take half a day. The reason is simple. The population is growing faster than new roads can be built, cars are cheaper than ever, and public transportation is inefficient. Still, the government has plans to fix the public transport system and even ban motorbikes by 2030. On the outskirts of Cairo, Egypt, lies what's known as the Garbage City. The issue is that the capital had no efficient waste management system, so residents of the Mashiat Nazir district began handling the trash themselves.
Oh, doggo, easy, easy, easy. I just want to go. Hello. No, I just go here. Okay.
For a fee, they haul garbage on carts to their homes, where they sort it.
So these guys are not wearing any protection. In
1969, the local government ordered that all garbage collectors be moved to one area.
I feel sad. There's a goat on a trash pile over there. Do you spot the goat?
The living conditions are horrific. The air is thick with smoke from burning plastic, the streets are buried in waste, and the water is contaminated with chemicals.
Anand, do you guys have pigs back here?
We don't have any pigs, you can see.
Gunfire and looting. Even a trip to the store is considered an act of courage. With the government unable to maintain control in the area, the infrastructure is lacking. And residents don't have reliable access to clean water or sewage systems. Amsterdam has an excellent cycling infrastructure, but there are almost as many bikes in the city's canals as there are on its streets. Over 15,000 bikes are pulled from the canals every year. Every day, a special crew dives into the water with a giant mechanical claw. Occasionally, they even haul out refrigerators or cars, about 50 of them a year. The Fenetar neighborhood is the largest Roma ghetto in Bucharest. Tens of thousands of families live here in subhuman conditions. Filth, poor sanitation, high crime rates, and total marginalization. Most residents are involved in crime from a very young age. They have no access to health care, children don't go to school, and the police rarely show up. The idea of smart consumption in China turned out to be a complete failure. In 2015, bike rental services became popular as a way to ease urban traffic congestion. But within just a few years, many of these companies went bankrupt as supply far outpaced demand. And with so many bikes on the streets, people often left them in inappropriate places. That's why bicycle graveyards have started to appear near large cities, with many of the bikes still in perfectly good condition. During holidays, China's roads turn into a nightmare. A trip that normally takes an hour and a half can drag on for 6 hours. The main problem is a lack of alternative routes and the explosive growth of the country's vehicle fleet. Even the largest toll station on China's expressway system is powerless in the face of such a massive traffic crisis. Around 9 million people depend on the waters of Indonesia's Citarum River, but decades of industrial pollution have turned it into a toxic wasteland. The river is filled with heavy metals and bacteria, and locals are forced to drink this contaminated water. The main source of pollution is the 2,000 factories along the riverbanks that dump their waste straight into the water. The government has launched a $500 million cleanup program that includes a ban on dumping and efforts at reforestation. However, hidden pipelines and corruption continue to stall progress. Piscina in Rio de Janeiro was once a symbol of Brazil's success, inspiring designers and filmmakers. But now, it looks more like a war zone where criminal gangs fight for control. More than 200,000 people live in these buildings and face daily